Hello YouTube world, Mack Daddy 191181 here with the Shade Tree Survivalist. This will be the beginning of a new series, a new playlist that I'm going to add to the channel on gear reviews, but specifically on ultra cheap gear reviews. And this will be the first video in the series. We're going to test out a UST Sabercut Chainsaw. Now, I told Kim the other day I was at Wally World and I seen all these really nice things that they got the day I bought the Sawyer water filtration system for my backpack for my gear. And I was telling her about this, and she got this for my birthday because she knew I wanted to try it out and review it. Let me pick it up and show you guys what this thing looks like. It looks like a little miniature chainsaw chain. Let me get the hell out of the way so you guys can see this thing. And it has steel hookup to the chain, and I'll get it in the damn camera's view here in a minute. It's like trying to shave in a freaking mirror or something. And it's got these straps that you can wrap around your hand. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I mean, I would do a real testing protocol, but would you do that? I mean, you buy a new piece of gear, what do? You go out and you start using it. Flat out just using it. So we're going to try that out, and then maybe if we do something expensive, we'll do an actual testing protocol on it. But we're going to take this thing outside, and I'll go ahead and tell you today is very windy. That is the reason I'm shooting the intro part of the video inside the house. So you may have to adjust your volume just simply to drown out the damn noise. And my voice, I'm loud, so maybe it'll carry you and you'll be able to hear me without the annoyance of the wind. But we're going to take this thing outside and we're going to try it out. It is an actual chainsaw chain. You have the teeth cut left and the teeth that'll cut to the right, and on the back side it's got the little hooks. You can see that. Get it in the freaking camera. Lord, I'm getting pitiful with this. I'm looking at the viewfinder instead of the lens. If I just, okay, hold it right in front of the lens, everything will be alright. But anyway, it's got the piece that would actually guide the chain in the bar, which, why, if you're going to make it like this, you're going to do that, I don't know. But we're going to go out and try it out and see how it does. So without further ado, stop the camera, go outside, and get her done. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be part 2, or excuse me, take 2 of cut 1. I got halfway through it, I turned the log over, zoomed in where you guys could really see it in action, and damn it, I was completely out of frame. I mean, just by a freaking inch, a lousy inch. You could see my boot, but you couldn't see anything else, so I got to do it all over again. And it cut through the piece that's probably 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches in diameter, and I figured, what the hell, we'll give it a real challenge. We're going to go for this piece right here. Pretty good size, and that's the piece we cut off earlier. You can see it's cut. Alright, you can see that. Pretty damn good, I reckon. And I'll show you, it's pretty good wood, not rotten, so it's a fair test. It is well seasoned wood. It's been out here about a year, off the ground, laying on top of these other logs right where it's sitting at now. And do is try to cut through this bigger piece, and I'll probably have to pull it out and hold it down with my foot and cut it. And remember, you got to keep the teeth, the actual cutting teeth, pointed toward the log, otherwise it won't cut crap. Oh, it might scratch it good fashion, but that's all it'll do. One of the things is, just like a real chainsaw chain, it's easy to get it twisted up and all that, but easy to get it undone, no big thing. Okay, I found out that my idea of putting my hands through the loops is not that good an idea, but to do it just like they showed on the box worked much better. So without further ado, let's get her done. there you go. It takes a little bit of effort on this bigger piece of wood, but here it is, just slightly wider than my hand. And you can see it's not rotten. Good hard stuff. Did a good job. Good workout, but it doesn't hurt my arms like some of the little saws. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the wild hedges that we have all over the damn place out here. It's not real hard wood to cut, but I figured we'd do some green wood that's standing, and to see how hard it would be to stop yourself from being killed when it falls on you. I would not recommend this with a large tree. This thing, even if it hit me on the head, it wouldn't hurt anything other than the damn tree. But let us try it. Remember, you got to make sure that the cutting teeth are facing what it is you're trying to cut. And it's going through it like Swiss cheese. And of course it's leaning, so it's binding the chain a little bit. Well, for what it is done so far, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up. No apparent damage, and as long as it's not binding, it cuts. You can see, it went right through it. And that's what, 1.5 inches, 2 inches in diameter. That ain't too damn bad. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I thought, what the hell, we'll come out here, we'll do a head-to-head contest. We just saw how fast the new little chainsaw, literally the handheld chainsaw, went through this damn piece of Bradford pear. Before this, I had my Sierra 180. Well, this has been my assault pack. This thing here is the bomb as far as hand saws. Now, I haven't got any of the really fancy ones like the Silkies and all those type of saws, but this thing right here is a cutting some gun. I mean, it is awesome. I just love this thing. It's just been a great tool. I've used it in a lot of ways that it was not really designed for. And maybe it'll be a little dull. So I'm going to give it a head-to-head test against that damn thing right there, because that thing has really impressed Mack Daddy 1911A1. And that is hard to do, I'm here to tell you. But without further ado, same piece of wood we just cut. Alright, here's the piece that we cut off. And you can see it matches up almost perfectly, with the exception of the pieces that the saw cut out itself. But that's it, that's the piece right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this Sierra 180 from Coghlan's, and we're going to cut this damn thing. Hopefully I'll be able to hold it still, and to give it as equal a match as possible. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and to make it as equal as possible, an equal test, I'm going to be cutting the same end, alright, where I just cut, from the same exact log, okay? Sierra 180 by Coghlan's. See how well she does. Cut my damn hand off. I should have wore a pair of gloves out here. And this saw has been through a lot, so it's a little dull. It's not really a super fair test. And I ain't no good with my left hand. We'll give it a shot and see. Wood pile just fell over. Alright. As you can see, it's warped a little bit. I really used the piss out of this thing. So I'm not going to call it a fair test. I still love my Sierra 180. But it's obvious the new chainsaw really cuts a lot faster. Simple as that. And I'm going to continue cutting this just because I want to know. But This thing was like 10 bucks, worth every freaking penny. That thing down there, I think it was about the same amount, $10 or $15. And how much? $6, Kimmo says. So we're gonna continue cutting it anyway, I'm waiting. But it is obvious right off the damn bat that thing there is superior in so many ways. I mean, we're just now getting halfway through it, and this thing is tiring me out. I'll tell you what it could be. Just simply the fact that I don't have it quite as tight as I had this one. Let's try it out. We'll do a fair test. Alright, I had to stop the camera, readjust it. We want to get it as stationary as we can get it so there's not a lot of wiggle. As I stated, this Sierra has been through a lot with me. I probably cut a bunch of crap that I shouldn't have cut. Ooh, I like to got myself. Alright, it cut it. But it sure took a lot of effort. So, if I had a brand new one to run against it, we could see this thing right here, once I got the hang of it. Man, I like that thing. I'll just be honest with you. Let's see. Sierra weighs just a tad more. And for the money, this is a great little saw. Compact, you can shove it right down vertically in your backpack, works good. This thing here, you can just roll it up, stick it in a pouch so it doesn't cut anything up, and buddy, don't take any room at all. I mean, I was impressed. I will say, for the money, only $6 or $7, you can't beat it. You cannot beat it if you can get it around the object and it'll hold still for you. I'm impressed. I am impressed. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this video was helpful some way, shape, or form. We're going to start reviewing inexpensive survival gear, see what works, what doesn't, what we can break, not on purpose, but break through normal use, all on video, and maybe I can save you $1 or $2, just like I did with the recommendation, a no-buy recommendation on that damn cheap Tech Sport folding shovel that was a complete, total, absolute disaster. This one, the UST Chainsaw, does as it is advertised, and it is cheap as all get out. Maybe you could make one yourself from a chain. That is up to you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you saw the video, and you saw that the UST, the Ultimate Survival Gears Sabercut Chainsaw Survival Saw, work really, really well. It's basically a small chainsaw chain. And it's got two heavy-duty hooks on each end that are bolted to, or pinned to it, so they can't come off, and two big straps for your hands to go in. And using real long strokes, the maximum amount, it really did a really fine job, did a very good cutting job. It has a limited, lifetime limited warranty, and it says to see the website for details. But I was impressed. The Sabercut Chainsaw by UST. I was very impressed with it. Now, you saw the Sierra 180 by Coghlan's, and it didn't do near as well, but I want y'all to know something. This thing right here, the year I lost my trucking job because of that speeding ticket, I used this doing a handyman thing a lot. I did a lot of tree trimming. I cut, when I did some demolition work, I cut through old sheetrock as well as plaster walls from the 1930s. Through the wall, it's through the plaster itself, as well as the wood that is behind it to support it. I had to cut out a couple of doorways and so forth, and it's just happened to be the handiest thing that would do the job. I think the day that I used this, I did not have my Sawzall with me, which would, you know, make it do a lot better. But this thing right here is more accurate. So, what is plaster like? Okay, the stuff I was cutting on, the house was built in the early 1900s. It seems like it was around 1908 when that house was built. So it's very old, and it's basically like cutting mortar mix after it has hardened really well. Not new mortar mix, but old mortar mix. Very, very tough. And I showed you guys in part of the video that the end of the blade's a little bit bent. That would have a lot to do with it sticking and when I'm pulling it through the wood and pushing it back through. The blade is worn. It's worn. So maybe one of these days I'll just go buy a brand new, and they're not expensive, 10 or 15 bucks. Get a new one, do another head-to-head test. Now, one thing about a saw like this, I don't think it'd be very easy to sharpen it. However, a chainsaw chain, if you have a 5/16 rat tail file, or 1/4 inch, or whatever the case may be, depending on the size of the chain and the blades on it, they're very easy to sharpen. I mean, once you've done it a few times, you know what to do, how to angle the rat tail file, sharpen right up. Okay, so if it starts getting to where it's not cutting very well, and you're starting to get tired from it, just go get you a rat tail file, and you've got to cut the ones that are angled this way. You cut, sharpen them that way, and then you turn the chain around, and then you sharpen the others. It's not hard to do at all. I mean, I've got a chainsaw I use quite a bit, a little Coghlan Pro, and it is awesome. As long as you keep that damn chain well lubricated with the bar oil, as well as keep it very, very sharp. So I think it is awesome. Like I said, you can roll up. It's compact. I'm just honest with you. The only other thing that the only other two items that I bought from UST were inadequate or a total flop. And I haven't done reviews on them. I will do a review on those shortly, so you know that not everything they manufacture is off the chain. But one was the small fire starting ferro rod. When I did the cold weather gear testing and camp that I did, where I stayed in a tent overnight in 18-degree weather without a fire, and then the next morning tried to start a fire, it was infuriating. It would just not throw a good enough spark to amount to squat. And the other was the 10-in-1 survival card. It looks like a credit card. It's got all these supposed tools. The moment I opened the package, the little compass fell down the air conditioning heating vent right there in the damn floor beside me. I mean, just open the package. No big deal. But I am very impressed with this. This thing cuts so much better than the Coghlan's wire saw that I showed you guys the other day that you could sew into your pants. It's ridiculous. However, you can't bend this thing. Not unless you have the edge or the guide part of it facing your body. You do not want to do that. So you can't bend it, but maybe in your trousers leg you could sew it in, and this would be a very good backup system if you were captured and were able to escape. That is, of course, if they don't have metal detectors and they really don't pat you down real good. Because it's pretty thick. I mean, it's a chainsaw chain. It's not a toy. Did a really good job. I was so impressed. I was actually, just shocking how good it did. I highly recommend it. Simple as that. Okay, before I forget, Kim O found the receipt. She was thinking it was around $6 for the chainsaw, the Sabercut chainsaw. It was actually $12.84. Okay, she bought me a bunch of targets for my birthday, as well as the target spots to repair the targets with. I mean, a bunch of them. Look. And she was thinking of the price tag of these or those, whichever one it was, and not the saw. Now the other thing that I'm going to test, and I'm going to do a completely separate video on, is the wet fire starter from U.S.T. It says wet fire tinder is a dependable fire starting tinder that lights easily and burns on a wet surface. Burns even when wet. So now it's saying it burns on even a wet surface, but then it goes on in bold letters to say it burns even when wet. So what we're going to do is we're going to spray this baby down, one of them, down with a water hose in a video, and I'll show you how that works in another video at a later time. Right now I've got other things to do, I can't do it. But the Sabercut Chainsaw from UST, I give it 2 thumbs up. Once I understood how to use it with the long strokes, okay, and not allowing the wood to bind it, I mean it went right through that damn piece of wood like it was like crap through a damn goose. It was just beautiful. You could make one of these, but a single chain for a chainsaw would be quite a bit more expensive than this, and it would be a whole lot longer than you needed it. But you could make one of these, 2 of these out of one chain if you wanted to, just depending on how long you want it. So without further ado, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. I will take some up close still photographs and add at the end of the video so you can see what it looks like and see that it is truly a real chainsaw chain. If you buy one of these, buy the correct rat tail file. You can keep it sharp even in the woods. The rat tail file doesn't weigh or take up any room whatsoever. It just doesn't weigh crap. But this is Mack 1911 A1. Thank you very much for watching. Y'all take care and stay tuned for more new videos, including part 2 of our digging a foxhole, digging in for defense. Thank you very much.